Hey, it's Jack, aka JustWeavile, and welcome back to another Pokemon BDSP Wi-Fi battle. As you can see, we've both got pretty badass teams, him more than me. He's got a Vileplume, alright? I'm about to get wrecked in this battle. Now this is post-commentary as opposed to live commentary because I'm going to be trying to do this more often as I seem to get better battles if I do post-com. I'm not very, I get stage fright, you know? A bit of stage fright, it's not very nice, you know? It's not very nice. So anyway, before we get into the battle, I just wanted to give a big shout out to one of our recent subscribers, Brian. There's his name on the screen right now. Thank you for subscribing. You're an awesome legend dude person type thing. And with that being said, let's jump straight into the battle. And the battle begins. So first off, my opponent sends out his Rhyperior, as I ended up leading off with my Electivire. No, it's a Magnezone. What am I on about? Anyway, so this first turn I'm kind of scared because I might get hit by an Earthquake in the face, so I don't want to stay in and risk going for the Flash Cannon, especially since I'm not Choice Specs or anything. It's definitely going to KO me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into my Gliscor real quick because it can take any hit from this guy, because I'm pretty sure that without Pokemon Home, Rhyperior does not get Ice Punch. Not that he would go for that on a Magnezone anyway. So he sets up his Stealth Rocks. That's okay for now. I don't need to really worry about the Stealth Rocks as much, but you are going to see later on in this game that there is like a split-second decision that I do not make, which completely alters the pace of the battle, and it just goes to show how much you can just like ruin a game. So this next turn, he's going to withdraw his Rhyperior, and I clicked on U-turn just because I kind of figured he'd want to not stay in and go into something to take a ground type move, like this thing right here, the Gyarados. Gets the Intimidate off, doesn't really matter because I'm not really going for damage with a U-turn. It's just a way of getting some momentum. So I'm going to U-turn on this Gyarados, get out of there. And I'm pretty sure I could either go into, there's a couple of options here that I could go for. I could go into Magnezone, or, you know, I could go into Garchomp if I wanted to, set up a Swords Dance on his face, but I decided to go into Magnezone because A, I have a Sugar Berry, so his Earthquake's not one-shotting me, and B, it kind of scares him out, and it gives us a bit more pressure to put on his team, which is what you really want, really, in a battle. So, this next turn, I decided, you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the Volt Switch. He ends up withdrawing his Gyarados, however, which is going to be, okay, that's fine, and he goes into his Blissey. Now, I'm guessing he went into the Blissey because he didn't want to risk me predicting the Rhyperior and going for a Flash Cannon. So, pretty smart play on his hand, always go into Blissey. You can just eat every hit you've got to take. And now that the Blissey's in, I can go into my Sumo Chungus over here, and my Hariyama, and I can just fire off Close Combat at anything on his team, which is great because Close Combat still does a good like third or a quarter of the health on Gyarados. So it's going to be a good time for everyone if I manage to do that, you know. So we do get the Flame Orb activated thanks to the switch-in, and now I can just go straight for a Close Combat and destroy something. Alright, he ends up withdrawing his Blissey, and he goes straight into all reliable the Gyarados over there, because A, he gets the Intimidate off, B, is resistant to Close Combat, and it's quite bulky in the first place. So our Flame Orb boosted Close Combat is going to do a nice hefty chunk. I'd say that's about a third of his health, you know. I can deal with that, Now, I was in a bit of a predicament here. I didn't know what I wanted to do in regards to winning this game, because, I don't know, it's like, I need to get rid of this Gyarados. If we can get rid of the Gyarados, then I can just come into Big Chungus every time and kill something. But I decided, you know what, let's stay in, because he might over-predict here and think I'm going to go into Magnezone. He might go for something else, so I'm going to stay in and go for a knockoff. So my opponent does decide to switch out his Gyarados, doesn't want to stay in, and he goes into Silokibin, which is of course the Vileplume. Now the Vileplume is a bulky monster, but we do a decent like chunk of his health with the knockoff, so that's fine. We also knocked off any item that he might have had. Now the best place to do is just switch out, and I was really considering which ones I should switch into. Personally, I don't think I should have switched into Magnezone, because I could see a Sleep Powder's coming off, and I might need Magnezone for taking out the Gyarados, especially since it's like you only get one chance. I need to be at a good amount of health. Gyarados needs to Earthquake me thinking he's going to take me out, and then I can take him out. But luckily for me, the Vileplume didn't go for Sleep Powder, and he ends up going for the Moonblast, so that kind of worked out for me there. And now I'm able to just go for a Volt Switch if I want to, because I'm pretty sure he'll end up going into Blissey. Anyway, I go for the Volt Switch now, as I said, expecting the Blissey to come in. He doesn't actually switch out his Vileplume, so now I'm a bit like, oh crap, what have I got to switch into this Vileplume? Like, Chungus gets killed by a Moonblast, and Gliscor, I can go into that, and that's probably why, yeah, it's exactly what I do go into. I'm hoping I can take a Sleep Powder, because I'm already poisoned. That's what I was thinking, but ends up going straight for the Giga Drain. Now, if I was Choice Spexed, and decided to just go for a Flash Cannon there. Wouldn't have been a very good situation for your Vileplume to be in, personally, but it's not a bad play that he made by any means. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the default, get rid of these Stealth Rocks because they are kind of getting annoying now. And I see the opportunity because, again, I'm already poisoned, so he can't put me to sleep. All he can really do is spam Giga Drain at me. So get rid of those stones. Giga Drain comes through. It's going to take us right down to red, which is unfortunate. But what can you do? What can you do, eh? Nothing really, other than just accept your defeat or something like that. Now, after poisoning, I'm still in the red, so I can't stay in and take another hit. I'm going to have to go for a U-turn right now. And also, you never know, they might want to switch out. I doubt it because Vileplume can take me out from here, but you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen. So U-turn comes through. We're going to switch out real quick, and I'm expecting a Giga Drain, so I'm going to switch into just the perfect Pokemon. That's right, Typhlosion's going to come in. Now, unfortunately, this does weaken our Eruption's power. However, a Choice Specs Flamethrower is still going to do a decent amount of damage. And because of the lack of time you get in between the turns, I didn't really have time to calculate whether or not Eruption would still be the best option to go for over Flamethrower based on the amount of HP I had left. If anyone knows that, feel free to tell me in the comments, because I don't know. I just decided to go for the safe Flamethrower. Alright, he's going to withdraw his Vileplume because he doesn't want to get burnt to a crisp by Flamethrower. And he's bringing in the Blissey. Now, Blissey is obviously able to take this really well. If anything, I should have read this. I should have known that it would be scared out, but I'm already being read left, right and centre, and I guess I must have made some panic plays here and there, which is a shame, but Blissey was a very obvious switch. I should have just gone into my Chungus straight away and just fired off a close combat at anything. So I'm going to do that now, because Chungus is just the best option I have against the Blissey. It will destroy its life. It will not wake up the next day. Alright? You've heard of people waking up dead. This thing won't wake up dead. It's already dead. It's like that weird anime reference that says you're already dead or something, and I don't know. Anyway. Blissey nicknames aside, Camel Tail, really? I'm going to go for a close combat on this thing, and hopefully it can take it out, or take something out anyway. Now, unfortunately, Blissey does get switched out, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because it means something is going to have to take this close combat, and that something is Gyarados. Gyarados is going to take this close combat to the face. Now, this is kind of like one of the turning points. I saw how much HP he had left, and I was like, we're going to do it. We're going to go for the close combat. We're going to take out this Gyarados this next turn. Little did I know, my opponent had other plans, as you'll see shortly. I say my opponent had other plans. It's more like I didn't calc. And this waterfall coming from the Gyarados just straight up takes me out. I must have completely forgot about the defense drops from close combat or something. It's a real rookie mistake right there, Jack. A real rookie mistake. Gotta hand it to you. Right, now anyway, Gyarados is there. We could take this thing out if we want to. It's just, what do I want to take it out with? I could have gone into my Typhlosion and fired off an extra sensory, but at the same time I didn't want to do that because Blissey would just be coming in anyway. So I figured I may as well go into Garchomp right now. Garchomp can definitely finish this thing off, that's for sure. It's just a matter of whether I want to set up first. So what I decided to do was set up a Swords Dance first because I can definitely take an Ice Fang thanks to my Yachi Berry, and then we'll be good to go. The only thing we have to worry about is the Alakazam on my opponent's team. So he does go ahead and withdraw his Gyarados, bringing in the almighty powerful Forretress. Now, I don't know whether he just doesn't expect me to have this or what, but I go for the Swords Dance, and I do have Fire Blast on this Garchomp, specifically for the likes of Skarmory, Forretress, etc. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. You never know, I might get the burn as well, which will get rid of the Sturdy. However, this just means that we're going to get some hazards on our side of the field once again, and we're getting close to the point now where I make the play that basically decides the game on my end. And it is a shame really. So Forretress is going to live, gets up a Spikes layer, which is annoying, because I would like it if I could preserve my Weavile's Focus Sash for later. However, that's not going to happen, and it doesn't really matter in the end anyway. So this turn I'm going to go for an Earthquake because I don't want to risk missing a Fire Blast, and also I want to hit something in case he decides to save the Forretress for later, which, if it was me personally, I wouldn't save it. There's no point in saving it, okay? So he's going to withdraw his Fortress, against my opinion, and he's going to go into Gyarados. Now that works out anyway for him because he gets the Intimidate off. He switches in on a ground type move, which he might not have even been expecting to come, but Gyarados can take Fire Blast in anyway, so it's all good, it's all good. This turn though, I'm looking at his team and I'm thinking, you know what, everything is taken out by Outrage, even for Forretress because it's only at 1 HP. So do I go for the Outrage? I think it's probably the best bet to go for, to be honest with you. Alright, so I go for the Outrage. It is, of course, going to destroy the Gyarados' life right now. However, this gives him ample opportunity to bring in like literally anything else right now. So I'm expecting the Alakazam to come in. In comes Blissey. Now, I'm not sure why Blissey's coming in right now. Maybe he's trying to stall out my Outrage so that I get confused. That's what I was thinking at the time. Either way, that's not in my control anymore. Garchomp's going on a rampage. I can't stop it. Blissey's going to have to go down. And now this next turn I get confused, which is just probably what my opponent was hoping for. Because, you know, at the end of the day, he needs a free way to get in his Alakazam somehow. Regardless. In comes Rhyperior. And for some reason, this isn't even the play that decides everything. For some reason I decided to stay in and go for another Outrage. Not a very good play on my part because it means I'm locked in again. We do break through Confusion, which is fine. But personally I think we should have gone into Gliscor or something there. Just because. And then we could have gone for a Defog. Get rid of these Spikes and Stealth Rocks, which are very annoying. Doesn't matter now, it's all in hindsight. All you can do on past mistakes is learn from them. Right, this next turn we snap out of Confusion and we're able to go for another Outrage, which ultimately destroys Rhyperior. It's perfect. It's the perfect thing to happen. And in comes Alakazam. This is the Pokemon I was kind of scared about because the only Pokemon on my team that even outspeeds this thing is the Weavile. And this chuffing Alakazam sets up a nasty plot right in front of my Garchomp's face while he's in the middle of a rampage. I go for the Outrage and lo and behold, the Alakazam's got a sash. Of course it's got a sash. I should have realised it had a sash, but I didn't. It's very annoying. But it's fine though, it's fine because all we need to do right now is switch into Weavile, right? Because we've got Focus Sash and we can take a hit. That was a bad play, Jack. This is the play I was talking about. I should have sacked something and got a free switch in with Weavile so I could go for the Ice Shard to take it out. But I didn't do that. I hard switched into Weavile, and this right here is basically lost me the game because he was going for a Dazzling Gleam. Super effective on Dragon and Dark types. That was the worst play I've made in a while. But it happens, and now, looking forward, if I'm ever in a similar situation, I'm going to know what to do. So, all of my Pokemon now get completely annihilated by Alakazam. There's not really much to say about the rest of the battle. I'll leave it to play out so you can see me get destroyed, but from here on out I just get completely annihilated. So all I'm going to say is thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know how you liked the post commentary, see if it was up to your cup of tea, you know, all that stuff. Leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful jizz jazz. With that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.